Amid the soundless air of this...
So, you have found me. Sabine, the scarred one. The woman buried... Kneel before... Slave. Good girl. You know your place, Sabine. You know your god when you see him. I am Tyr Sindilius, most magnificent of the... I am your god, and I will have your... I have you on your knees. Now, crawl to me and kiss my feet.
You suddenly feel a claw-like energy pushing you down. 5 unseen talons splayed over the crown of your head. As it slowly forces you to the ground.
Don't you keep defying... Kiss my feet. What is this? What is this? Will you not obey? Will you not kiss my feet like you kissed your... Isn't it rather late, Sabine? You let yourself be scarred. You let yourself be for shame. How dare you? Do you not realize what you are? God-woken. Bah, you self-delusional fool. Even to be forced into subject slavery, submission, it is in your...
His words sting like daggers. But then, quite unexpectedly, his stern countenance...
Then again, submission, maybe it's in my blood as well. God is but a word. A god's worth is defined by power. And what have I left of true power? Nothing. I submitted them all. All 7 of us did. Allowed them to be stolen. He took them. But now, the usurper is dead. And the power of 7 gods lies free for the taking. The world is without gods. It is a fat-bellied beast, blind and... The world is without gods. One. And all I have to show for is...
His features harden once more, and his eyes fill with contempt as he takes a step close.
Sabine. The scar.
Another step.
The slave.
And another. He is almost upon you now, uncomfortably close, his breath clammy like a humid mist. The needle pierces Tyr Sindelius's gossamer flesh. A heartbeat strong as a quake reverberates through the metal and into your hand, arm, chest. A power pulses, 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 and explodes within your soul. All goes black for the briefest of moments, but when you come to, you see your own name grafted into your skin. Gilded letters in an ancient...
Slave. Accursed the word. Nevermore will you be such a thing. I give you your name back. As such I have named you. As such I have blessed you. I blessed the very water beneath your feet. Now you may wield that power for yourself. A first taste of things to come. From here on out, there are 2 things that await you. Death and divinity. Death or divinity. Now you must go back to your world, my chosen one, and make your escape from the piece of rock they landed you on. Before I let you go, however, there is one more matter we must touch upon. You are traveling with company, yes? No, not friends, rivals. They are god-woken too, and may be courted by the lesser six, but you will be a god, none other. Smile at your fellow wanderers, but ready your knife, for it's... Oh, and Losa. Lovely little Losa. Just kill her now. With that, I bid you goodbye, Sabir. Goodbye. We will meet again, anon.
Blessed branches, we've returned. Every second we... Interesting? You thought it was interesting? Do you know what's interesting? Watching an entire world be strangled by the roots of doom. Seeing the giant races fall like leaves in frost. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, as interesting as that cold hellscape might have been, it does not solve our problem. We are here to stop the Great Acorn, not hide from it. It's already helping more than it knows, Quercus. The fate of the world depends on our ability to research a spell. We need to travel across the land, gathering... Of course, for us to do that, we must avoid being eaten by the servants of the Great Acorn. And that is where our big, foolhardy shield comes in. Ah! Quercus! Quercus! It thinks it could use... No! I am not going to share our magic with it. Very well. I cannot give it magic, but I can teach it how to form...
The squirrel reaches out, touching your foot with a delicate paw, and you feel...
There. Maybe now your pet will have a fighting chance. Yes, yes, you're welcome, but can...
See? What did I tell you? So, who did you meet? What did you learn and all that?
Her eyes go wide.
Go on then. Show me what he taught you. I don't. Now go on. Ah, like that.
She takes you by the shoulders and gestures for you to do the same to her. She closes her eyes, and a warm, soothing sensation runs.
Hey, that stings.
She examines her hands, where the skin sizzles slightly beneath their newfound aura. As the spell fades, the skin heals once more.
You really are God-woken. I'm happy. Oh. Come then, we set sail, your destiny awaits, etc. You'll have to ask the Meister about that.
Malady beckons you to the boat.
After you, darling. As you wish.
You must help us wage our...
You gave me a fright sneaking up. How can I help you? Goodbye, then.
The goddess's tears still stream freely.
You gave me a... How can I help you? Goodbye, then.
Let's go.
Malady grabs the vessel with two hands and pushes it into the water. She hops on board behind you.
God-woken. Wait till...
Salty water mists your face. Your skin prickles in bright, warm sunlight. The boat bobs forward through the...
Tired but victorious, the party made for the Lady Vengeance. The horrors of Fort Joy behind them. They arrived as sorcerers. They left as God-woken. The fate of this God-forsaken world now rested on their shoulders. Or at least, on the shoulders of one of them.
I have a thought.
A light sea breeze kisses your cheek and carries away the smell of blood wafting up from the deck. In the distance, Fort Joy looms.
Don't stand between a prince and his principles. The Magisters learned that the hard way.
Bad luck to let the dead linger aboard. As soon as we get moving, we ought to clear the deck.
I've no sympathy for those who die in the line of duty, especially as odious a duty as those...
I'll be damned if I ever set foot on that island again. Don't care who I have to bury.
What were they thinking, standing against an Eternal? I almost pity the poor, ignorant beast. Onward now. The sooner Fort Joy disappears from the horizon, the better. Perhaps the Seekers need help manning the ship.
Well, this is a fine sight. Utterly barbaric, of course, destroying a floating nest, surrounded on all sides by salt water, pure poison to a tree's root. Well, yes, of course we'll continue our research, Quercus. We're not... Still, I must admit, you were right about the shield. It proved to be more than adequate. Oh, yes, how does something so large and ungainly sneak up? You give the giants too much credit, Quercus. I think the salty air... It has certainly been useful, but elegant, kind, surprisingly attractive. No, we have no time for your fawning. We may...
Spare me, Gareth.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper...
What's his face and so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those Godwoke.
You know their names, Malady.
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye and smiles.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken.
Very glad indeed.
Not a moment longer than we have to. But we're in something of an impasse. The ship won't move.
She's mute. We need to free her tongue. Quite expedient, isn't it? Dallas seems to have made a ship out of an ancestor tree, then found a way to bind the spirit. That means only she can control it. Unless we can find a way to break the bond. Go ahead and try. Maybe a pure breed will have better luck than... But whatever you do, hurry it up. The longer we sit here, the higher the chance the Order will get their hands on you.
We won't let that happen.
Yes, and all that.
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It hasn't been easy. This place is laced with...
These Seekers have such a
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do. And I hope you do too.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They kind of like to feel useful, don't they? Hopefully, you'll never have to fight.
What did I do to deserve that?
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice its unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. A face appears in the wood, tortured and tormented. A six-sided indentation is carved on its forehead, and the face vanishes. The anguished face appears. The door remains unmarked. The thud of your fist upon the wood resonates deeper than you'd expected it to. The door remains unmarked. The door stays resolutely closed. The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then the wood groans, the face vanishes. The anguished face